Good day, everyone. Welcome to Real Conservative News Update. I'm your host, Nathaniel Rajkumar. Today, I'm highlighting news from right here in Trinidad and Tobago. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries, Ravi Ratiram, has issued an urgent appeal to chicken depot owners and operators across Trinidad and Tobago, urging them not to engage in price gouging. You know, Trinidadians just love to take advantage of a situation. During the ongoing crisis, destabilizing the local poultry industry. The plea comes as consumers face sharp price increases and supply tight spots at retail outlets following a sharp drop in local chicken production. Ratiram emphasized that while supply conditions remain tight, businesses must refrain from exploiting vulnerable citizens who rely on poultry as a primary source of affordable protein. A long time now that ain't for affordable anymore. Anyway, you take it. But my goodness, still, they don't have to go and raise it extremely high. The current shortage stems primarily from prolonged periods of scorching, exceptionally hot weather. You have on a fan and the fan just blowing hot breeze. That severely impacted livestock. So you could just imagine how they're feeling outside there. Those pens. To mitigate heat stress mortality and protect bird welfare, local farmers were forced to introduce heat management measures and reduce bird placements on farms by roughly 20%. Because remember, the more animals in a gathering, in a place, the more body heat. And therefore, combined with the heat in the environment itself, that's a recipe for disaster. This necessary reduction in stocking levels, combined with restricted water supplies needed for cooling infrastructure, created a temporary contraction in the volume of processed chicken reaching plucked shops and supermarkets nationwide. Yes, but even with that water issue, come on, people, we need to try to find a solution for that as well. Find a solution for that as well, and I believe desalination plants could be one of those main solutions, because we could never determine when it will be a rainy year, because sometimes it have rain throughout the dry season and rainy season. Sometimes we like now it's like basically a drought. It was a dry season and it was a dry wet season. In response to consumer concerns, Minister Ratiram clarified that the current squeeze is a temporary operational disruption rather than a collapse of fundamental production capacity. But the problem is, if it's due to heat, we don't know when another heat wave will pass. Are you so sure El Nino, I think is what you call it, won't pass again? Are you sure that weather system will not end up here in the Caribbean again and here in Trinidad and Tobago again? Are you so sure? Ratiram. Minister of Agriculture and Fisheries has been actively engaging key industry stakeholders, including hatcheries, large-scale integrators, and importers to stabilize the supply chain. Officials project that increased chick availability will enter the production pipeline over the next 2 weeks, with local poultry volumes expected to progressively normalize within 2 to 3 weeks. Yeah, place still hot. Hoping and praying some rain falls so the place could cool down. But you're gonna supply chickens. Yeah, man. Continue to make predictions that you can't make as a human being. To address long-term vulnerabilities, the ministry is advancing a public-private partnership to establish a state-supported breeding and hatchery facility to reduce reliance on imported fertile eggs and chicks. Now, that is a good idea. That's a good initiative. In the interim, Ratiram reiterated that artificial price inflation by retailers will only compound the hardship by households. Exactly. Stop taking advantage of people. All right, we already know you're not making as much of a large profit because you have less of a product to sell. But don't take advantage of people either. He assured the public that government monitoring remains active, urging operators to maintain fair pricing standards as production gradually returns to full capacity. Now, I fully support a capitalist system. But price gouging is even something that capitalists like Donald Trump speaks about at times. It's when you actually taking advantage of the consumer and having your prices at extremely high prices, right? That most people can't really afford anyhow. You take it for products that are not really supposed to be at such a high price. It's something that is just unfair. But let's see if it has any sort of laws put in place to hold these individuals accountable, or at least force them to lower their prices.
Weather report for Trinidad and Tobago on Wednesday, August 19, 2026. The weather forecast features initially sunny skies followed by cloudy intervals, localized showers, and isolated afternoon thunderstorms. Daytime high temperatures are projected to peak around 32 degrees Celsius, dropping to an overnight low of 25 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. A high heat index of 34 degrees Celsius is expected due to relative humidity levels reaching up to 95%. Moderate easterly to southeasterly winds will blow between 5 to 35 kilometers per hour. Mild Saharan dust remains present in the atmosphere, so individuals sensitive to air quality should take precautions. Marine conditions show slight to moderate seas in open waters. Expect wave heights between 1.0 meters to 1.5 meters in open waters and under 1.0 meters in sheltered areas. Psalm 38, 1-4. A plea for mercy under the weight of guilt. Lord, do not rebuke me in your anger or discipline me in your fierce wrath. Your arrows have pierced me deeply, and your hand presses down heavy upon me. Because of your indignation, my body is broken and sick. Because of my sin, there is no health or rest in my bones. My guilt has completely overwhelmed me, sinking me like a burden far too heavy for me to bear.
Folks, that brings us to the end of today's news update. Thanks again to everyone who continues to support my content. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Stay blessed and stay safe most of all. In Jesus' name.